All right, so what we have is CPI for the euro coming out. The GBP was bullish. We had CPI for GBP earlier, uh, and this was bullish because it was higher. So if this one's higher, then then it will be bullish as well. We had a move up earlier. This was the move up earlier from the CPI off of the pound, Great British Pound CPI, the GBP CPI. Now we have the Euro CPI coming up in about 30 seconds or 10 seconds. So I have a take profit and a stop loss set. So we'll see what happens. And let's give it a countdown. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the expectation is that it'll be the same. It'll be a bullish move because the euro and the pound are closely correlated. So stands to reason that the number will be similar. Okay, so it's the same, but that means even if it's the same, then we could still be continuing our bullish move. Or at least the pound, but the euro should follow it. I was expecting, maybe, well, I was expecting a higher number here because we had a higher number on the pound. But, hopefully we'll continue bullish. We've continued to break structure. We broke this structure, which is very big deal. I just thought it was a good idea to trade the euro this time. Earlier, I was trading the pound. I got that video recorded here, or I'll upload it later. But I was trading the pound, and I just thought it was a good idea to trade the euro because the euro was kind of lagging a little bit, waiting on this news. And I thought, as long as the news doesn't come out bearish, right? Like I wouldn't really think that. I was thinking that if the news comes out bullish, that we could expect, basically 0,9,000, and if you look down here, it's not 0,8,000 down here. It's like 0,8,000 is all the way. Let me see actually where it is. Let me actually just point it right here. Okay, so 0,8,000 is right here. 0,9,000 right here. So it's not quite the same. It's kind of close, right? But anyway, so position, which I did, thank God. I was thinking that if I could get a decent position, that we could expect a big push up. If this news was bullish like this was, and so it's better. This is better than it being a lower number, but it's still not as good, obviously, as it being a higher number. So, the question is right now: do I continue recording and see what happens to the price, or because like, am I really feeling like there's going to be a big explosion right now? Kind of not. Like, I would not be surprised to see price consolidate right here. Like between this high and where we are now, pound and just in this range, right around this 10,000 quarter series level. For two reasons. One, because it is so significant. Of course, we have already been consolidating around it. So, if you consider the fact that we've already been consolidating around it, then in that case, it might not be so surprising to see price explode one direction or the other. However, like I said, there is this news here coming up at 8:30, and so core retail sales